Приветствую дорогих подписчиков, гостей моего канала. Предпоследняя часть у нас с вами самая долгая игры, да, хотел сказать. Ну, по сути-то она самая долгая из тех, которых играл, да, в данном канале, да. Мы еще сыграли очень мало игр, поэтому пока, да, самая долгая уже 14 часть игры. Поехали, сразу буду загружать. 14 часть игры a.noire. Второе дело в прогулка по полицейским полям в пожарном отделе. Уже концовка близка. Сегодня мы с вами должны, по идее, пройти 2 миссии. Успеть. И там уже останется еще, по-моему, 2. Ну, вроде бы я все, если правильно. Правильно, помню. 4 жертвы, нихера себе.
650 North Hobart.
His name is Phelps. He brought in that case of that poor lady killed near the city hall.
That bum took a swipe and put him down in my straps.
I didn't want to arrest him, so I gave him a... You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
You hear about Rancho Escondido? Are we having a conversation, Vic? Okay, fuck it. I'm teasing you, Hersh. Tell
Да
me
пошел
about
ты.
it.
Ага, почти достроен, да.
Burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this
Неплохо.
weekend. Velvet's gonna have some very angry customers.
Из говна и палок сделаны, да. Ну, вот так вот обычно. Все страдают только. Кто там при власти наживается на бедных людях. Они, понятно, дома поджигают, у них свое. Какая-то дорога тут пойдет. Сейчас выясним уже. Не помню всех точных.
Morelli, Mike, we recovered a picture of the family.
Okay. Anything else?
To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch, he's the expert.
Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved. Who? I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt it, did
I think the fire damage is postmortem. I think someone moved them into this room after.
Ой, жестко.
Why would you run into a burning building?
Так, что он говорил? Так, ну вот кто-то там.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them, Biggs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
Жестко, конечно. Так.
What are you doing?
Prayer effect is from the fire. Muscles and tendons contract.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
Got the wrong guy.
Опять не того.
A burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt. For the fire? For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. Probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize.
Такое, конечно, предположение.
Could be right. Can you come up with an alternative
I'm
explanation?
sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever
Ну это да.
There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating the pigs.
Про Пиксу что-то написать. Угу. Сейчас, секундочку.
So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis.
Угу. Тоже выиграли плюс.
Their
Нифига
names on
себе.
the list.
Christ.
Угу.
Look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Ничего себе.
Okay, I'll try this side.
Подожди, ты ходить и опрашивать надо.
Haven't done this for years.
Все эти улики посмотреть.
You don't look like a fireman, son.
Ладно, пойдем. Поговорим с дяденькой.
LAPD. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Угу.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
Угу. Ну что-то как-то ты неуверенно сказал.
You didn't like Morelli, did you?
Some neighbors you get along with, some you don't. Guess they should have sold up.
Ага.
They're knocking down all these old houses and building a new subdivision for GIs.
Просто место ничего освобождать новых. Понятно.
You said someone is knocking these houses down?
Elysian Fields. You must know them. They're billboards. That Monroe character beaming down at you. We've had an offer for the house.
Did the Morellis want to sell?
I don't know.
Угу.
Whatever you thought of Morelli, his whole family is dead.
Так, туда.
They couldn't have all deserved that. I want you to help me here, Foreman.
Morelli was pig-headed.
Угу.
He built the house himself. He didn't want to sell.
Не хотел продавать.
Fool was ruining it for all of us.
Угу.
You said the Morellis had won a weekend away to Catalina Island?
Yeah, that's right. First thing I thought after the explosion was, thank goodness they was away. Then I find out they was still in there.
Who was running the competition?
What? I don't know.
Угу.
You didn't enter yourself?
I'd already agreed to sell. The competition was an incentive for those who were still thinking.
Угу. А чё он остался? Чё все, да? А это что у нас? Ты что тут присел? Так, еще вот у нас. Опять важно. Угу.
Looks like the same model.
Угу. Что такое?
This is the flashpoint.
Угу.
The heater detonated with enough force to expose the foundations.
Угу. Интересно. Это что у нас? Надо все смотреть. Все смотреть. Внимательно. Да что ж такое? Да что, газета что ли? Нормально. Мне сейчас только ее смотреть. Ну, давай посмотрим, что делать. Угу. Угу.
How did you get my number, Ira?
At first, I didn't understand you, but now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now.
Все понятно.
You are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven.
Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
Да. Угу. Так.
Swear this town is going straight to hell. How bad is it? Come on, you can tell me.
Так. Ну где чё? Где чё, ребята? Ой, какой получился. Это правильно? 260 Лос-Анджелес. Тут у нас это матрас. Тут музычка не играет. А, это за мной бегает уже. Как дурак. Да ты подожди, я тут хочу какие-то улики посмотреть, поискать.
Think talk is cheap, try hiring a lawyer.
Is somebody gonna tell us what the hell's going on?
Хер знает, что-то не могу ничего больше найти. Ну что-то было. Я помню, что было. И что-то я туплю, похоже. О! А это тоже интересно.
was, he was wearing boondockers. I wouldn't have let him print anywhere.
Да что такое? Так. Давай, бери.
Someone was keeping watch.
Угу.
Looks like they were here for quite a while. Brand looks distinctive.
Угу. Угу. Так, что еще у нас тут можно найти? Окей. Угу. Так, эту газету я посмотрел. Так, ладно. К этому еще раз что ли сходить? Звоночек.
You can tell me.
Что он еще скажет? Тут туплю. А, во, смотри, подозрительно тут
You see
появился.
anyone hanging around the Morelli's home prior to the explosion?
Угу.
Nope. Can't say as I was looking out, though.
Угу, угу.
You sure, Mr. Foreman? There are signs of someone hanging around over there by the fence.
Hey, now that you come to think of it, there was a guy.
Угу.
Kind of tall. Skinny, though.
Anything else?
Orange lumber jacket, beat-up hat, and no hair. I thought he was the pest exterminator guy who was working around here the last few days. But that guy had hair.
Угу.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Foreman.
Sure. Hey, if you're interested, I have one of those competition flyers in the kitchen. I could get it for you if you
Stop.
like.
Давай.
Great.
Any luck, Cole?
Couple of things. What did you pick up?
Hold a piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Угу.
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Да ладно, 1000 сложить.
Don't break it.
Ага, вот
Not
рекламка.
folding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
Угу.
What?
Vision Fields. Да.
For Elysian Fields developments.
Будем узнавать. Так, что этот несет?
Oh, I see you already have one.
Угу.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
All these people are vultures.
Да. В общем, вперед. Вперед.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, detective.
Угу.
The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Угу.
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads in the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe. He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind?
Угу.
I'm warning you, Phelps.
Понятно, короче.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread.
Короче, уже прикрывают его. Ага.
Do you understand?
Да, да, understand.
Sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Угу.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end.
Понятно,
We
что
should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
Погнали на раньше.
Shame about Chapman. The arson desk has been trying to nail that son of a bitch for years.
He's still in custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? Fella kicked him loose already and hoping for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches.
Погнали, ребятушки. Угу.
You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
Ну, пошли. Смотреть, что тут у нас. Уже жестко. Тут горело.
I'm gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America,
sir.
dickhead.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for a
Smart
fray.
mouth son of a bitch.
Come back here. You're not getting that.
That's kinda cool.
Ой-ой-ой. Ебать, басочно-то получил. А. Так, все, кто следующий? Ой. На тебе. Следующий. Чё, дальше что? Ну, вообще драться нехорошо. С ребятами, которые дома все погорели.
When you did, detectives, those folks were baying for blood.
Не на тех напали. И чё? О.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
При пожаре, ага.
Expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick.
Это дело.
Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap.
Ёпс тудей. Вот это классное. Ничего дело.
If we're paying a visit to Elysian and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
Ну, погнали. Погнали. Погнали туда, значит, съездим сейчас. К этому.
You're behind the wheel.
So where do you want to go?
Ну как куда, дурак? Погнали. Куда хочу отправиться? А куда ты хочешь отправиться? Погнали. Угу. Только мы сейчас, конечно, попадем. Мне так кажется. Hi.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
May I help you, gentlemen?
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office.
Главный.
Like a cigar.
Давай, давай.
All this guy.
Biggs. We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr.
Terrible one.
Terrible.
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
We found a family burnt out in their home. Another house burned to the ground. Another Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Point is, every time we find a family barbecue, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Да, не припоминаю. Диво.
Level with me, Mr. Monroe. You know all about the vacation offers.
You can believe whatever you like, son. You're missing the vital ingredient called proof.
Your face is all over the flyers, Mr. Monroe. You know about the prizes, and you're aware that they get given to holdouts.
My face is the brand. It's on all our advertising. Did you know that the mayor and the chief of police...
Понятно, понятно. Ну, все начал уже говорить.
You want to accuse them of murder as well?
Ну, как же.
Made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way.
Вот и придумал.
That's the American way.
Come on, Mr. Monroe. You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the waste basket of history.
Ну, понятно.
To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense.
What's Elysian Fields' involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
Да, вообще не говорю.
Code regulation.
Absolutely. Only the best for our returning heroes.
There's something out of kilter about that development.
Деньги получили от правительства за застройку для военных, а они из некачественных материалов, некачественными этими построили, естественно, нарушение всех норм, денег нагребли, и надо было это все Чтобы не раскрылось, спалить.
But I think we'll find that the bricks being used on those houses are undersized and the mortar is faulty.
And there's no wall ties connecting the masonry to the frame.
Every building is built to a budget, boys. Those buildings were inspected and fully insured by California Fire and Life. Investment of that magnitude demands it. Do you think that they'd vouch for the buildings without examining them?
Ну, это вопрос.
Do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for way bills. Do you suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the
Приколюха уже наехал.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman. Да блин.
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
А где телефон? Здрасте. Тут. Секретутка сидит, а не телефон. Это что за секретарша без телефона? Так, вот сюда забыл.
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop who caught her.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
Not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks.
Куда ехать? А, вот так, да? Даже.
I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face till there's love in it. Give me your heart and baby
Шок пришел.
cause I always kill the things I love. Some
Buy me a drink, Cole?
for the
No.
sake of another.
Not even for old time's sake? Not even for that? You're not gonna ask me why I'm here? I wouldn't give you the pleasure. Get around her.
Is something quite other.
She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel
Save
about...
the threats for someone who cares about them, Roy.
You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you.
Will turn to surprise as you feel the pain.
Stay away from Elysian Fields.
I should have known that you were playing errands.
You and your doofus partner. You have been warned.
Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Stay away.
Ну, понятно. Ну, все понятно. Все мы представляем.
The same kind of sent you here.
Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
Get the message about Monroe?
Yeah, Earl delivered it. You?
Kelty started making noises about my pension.
Sorry about that,
Ну, это да. Не, ну...
Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done.
KGPL calling car 11K, 11K.
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up.
You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did. But I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California.
Он там работает.
Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Сорян.
Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf or the rest of the campaign?
Jack keeps stung just like you do.
Ой, засмотрелся. Да блин.
Jack keeps stung just like you do. When it feels like to get back from conflict, you gotta respect that.
С кем не бывает, засмотрелся и врезался. Надо было, чтобы он доезжал, Фершел. Остановиться не успел, да что ж такое-то, а? Да что ж я всех долблю-то? Что-то поинтереснее по радио-то есть или нет? А, ребят. Давай, что долго так ехать? Ой. Да что ты будешь делать? Я вроде заворачивал. Понятно. Я, короче, тебя Хершел машину все раздолбал. Ты не обидишься? Блин, надо было давать ему доезжать. Что за хрень, а? Ладно, чуть-чуть осталось. Отвлекаюсь, просто и на карту смотрю, и на сообщения читаю. О! Ни хрена, машинка. Я че стала? И опять бегать будем.
We're looking for Herbert Chapman.
I'm looking for him too. I needed to move his car so I could mow the lawn.
He's definitely not here.
I've been banging on his door off and on for a couple of hours. Doubt so. There's some kind
Let's
of
take a
problem.
look at the car.
Let's see what he's hauling around.
Переворот он таскает. Угу. Так, это что? Патрончики. Угу.
We should revise the APB. He's clearly armed.
Угу. Угу. И шо? И шо? Шо дальше?
Definitely gives him opportunity.
Была, да. Была, да была. А что делать-то? Что делать дальше? Ну, что, братан, скажешь?
I'm at a loss. Let's take a look at the car.
Не понял. Это я все посмотрел. Ничего не понял. А, я не открыл. Понял.
Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence.
Понял. Угу. Все, теперь понял.
There he is. It's Chapman. He's coming out of the laundromat. Shit. He's seen us.
Cops. Again.
Ого, с пистолетом.
Son of a bitch. He must have caught the trolley.
А как я... А что мы с трамваем сделаем, братан?
I'll call this in. Get some cars dispatched. Car 11K calling KGPL. 11K requesting assistance. In pursuit of suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar. Currently heading east on Melrose Avenue. Advise all units. Suspect is in control of car and driving dangerously.
Ты стрелять-то будешь? Да это не он. Ну это не он. Ёпта, он видит, ну конечно.
See if he can damage one of the wheels. Might act like a brake and slow the thing down.
Кого повредить-то только? Не сюда.
As soon as he ditches the trap, we'll be there to grab him. End of the line, you little prick. Come on, Cole. Looks like we have our man.
Нет, не наш.
Chapman seemed to have his own agenda. There seems to be more to this than a personal vendetta.
What are you talking about?
Fires benefit Elysian in some way. I see Chapman and Monroe working together.
Да.
You have a point. The evidence is good for Chapman. Hard to be worrying about his side of the story when he's blasting away with that big 45.
Nice work, gentlemen. Put yourself at considerable risk stopping that trolley and probably saved a lot of lives. Anyone else but you, Phelps, and you'd be up for a bravery award. Had our eyes on that slippery son of a bitch Chapman for as long as I can remember. Couldn't be happier than to wipe him off the scoreboard. I hope this puts to bed that crazy
Отстану,
stuff
да-да-да.
Leland Monroe. What were you thinking, Phelps? Be calling Richard Nixon a crook next.
Все уже сказали, кто мог.
What is it?
A letter from Lou. His insurance policy named me beneficiary.
California Fire and Life. You worked for Elysian?
The roof that he was working on.
It's a very generous settlement. Elsa, I'd like you to do something for me. I think there's something dirty about Elysian Fields.
К этому идти надо.
I want you to reject this.
Келсу.
I want you to go and see an investigator named Jack Kelso and ask him to make some inquiries about Lou's case.
Isn't this police work?
Do you want to find out what happened to Lou?
Why would he help this Kelso?
Jack won't be able to help himself if he smells a rat.
He's a friend of yours.
He hates my guts. Elsa, you could take this money and let them get away with it, or we could get Jack's help and do something about it.
Why not be honest with this man, Cole? He
Так-то
deserves
да.
your honesty if you want his help.
Believe me, Elsa, I'd like to level with him. I really would, but it's too late. Years too late.
Так, ну дело-то мы закрыли, конечно. А сейчас закрылся будет. Мы будем в Steam поиграем. Ой, КС много нанес, конечно, ущерб. А как бы и должно быть 3, да? А, 4 звезды. То есть блестящий здесь не дают. Все вроде правильно сделано. Неужели меня снизили за что-то? Ладно. Бывает. Проходим еще одну.
Mr. Kelso? That's what the sign on the door says, miss.
Дорогая мисс, письмо приложен чек на 20 тысяч долларов. Это максимальная выплата в соответствии с положением 4А договора о страховании жизни и страховании от несчастных случаев, заключенного нашей компании с мистером Бухлевальтером. Да. Если вы хотите оспорить соглашение о страховых выплатах, обратитесь в отдел управления счетами почты или по телефону в приемные часы. Мы соболезнуем. Тыры-пыры, 8 дыры. Чек на 20 тысяч долларов. Неплохая такая. Угу.
I don't accept the What do you mean you don't accept? I think you're pushing your luck, lady. This seems to be a ridiculously generous settlement. A $200 policy with a $20,000 payout? You should... I don't want the money. What do you mean you don't want the money? I want you to investigate this case. I feel my friend may have been a victim of foul play. Okay. Let me get the case file.
Что это? А, ну ладно, хорошо. Так, вот, погнали. Что это? Так. Появился Коул полиса. Ну. Здоровье компании Лиза Филдс. Луис Ян Бухвальтер погиб при крушении кровли строящегося дома, на котором он работал. Во вторник, 28 января, около 8:30 утра. Когда мистер Бухвальтер поднимался на крышу здания, в районе на застройке на Норманди-авеню, произошло оседание конькового прогона. По показаниям свидетелей, мистер Бухвальтер, соскальзывая, попытался ухватиться за стропила, но оно обломилось. Мистер Бухвальтер упал на землю с высоты плюс 23 фунтов. Падая, он проломил несколько балок, которые обрушились внутрь постройки вместе с частью стропильной фермы. Короче, вся крыша упала. Так, что тут у нас? При вскрытии обнаружен перелом основания черепа, предположительно в результате удара о балку, а также многочисленные внутренние повреждения в результате падения на пострадавшего, ломках пиломатериалов. Мистер Бухвальтер скончался от внутреннего кровотечения приблизительно 10 минут спустя после обрушения крыши. Так, независимая экспертиза конькового прогона стропильной фирмы показала, что изъяны в составе пиломатериалов невозможно было выявить до начала строительных работ. Ага. Вот это уже интереснее. Согласно показательным сведениям, мистер Бухгалтер соблюдал все правила техники безопасности. По заключению следователя смерти Луиса Яна Бухгалтер является несчастным случаем. На производстве лишнего фикса не может быть предъявлено обвинение. Никаких претензий, окей. Страховая выплата в соответствии с действующим страховым полисом должна быть выплачена указанным бенефициарием. Гематилин, тыры-пыры.
Sounds like your friend took a hell of a fall. I'm sorry for your loss. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course not.
What basis do you have for your claim of foul play?
Lou Buckwalter was a craftsman. I don't believe he would have made a roof that would collapse.
You want me to reopen this case based on your woman's intuition? That isn't going to happen. Take the money.
I've already told you I do not want the money. There's something wrong with that house.
Хорошо.
You and Buckwalter weren't married?
No.
And how did you become his beneficiary?
We were family friends.
You expect me to reopen this case because you come in here walking that walk? Well, I'm not buying it. I think you should tell me what the hell is going on.
You really want to know?
Yes.
We were interned together on Ellis Island. Resident Indian Germans whose parents had been killed by Nazis. Do you see the irony in that, Mr. Kelso? We spent 4 years there.
Так.
So the roof collapsed. Accidents happen. What exactly are you trying to achieve here, Miss Lichtman?
Exactly what I said. I want that building thoroughly investigated.
I'm intrigued, Miss Lichtman. I really am. But you're going to have to give me something if you want me to get involved in this.
There is a conspiracy surrounding Elysian Fields and the new houses they are building. I believe your insurance company is involved.
That's pretty heady.
Серьезно, да, обвинение.
Flimsy, but heady.
I've told you what I know, Mr.
Ну что-то дай, хотя бы что-то.
What are you going to do about it?
All right, Miss Lichtman. One final question.
Yes.
What's your address?
Is that usual?
Is there anything usual about this case, Miss Lichtman?
The address is on the letter, Mr. Kelso.
The address, not the phone number.
Ой, ты там кого-то встретишь.
Mr. Benson would like to see you in his office, Jack. Upstairs. Come on, I'll walk you up.
Да я знаю где, что ты мне рассказываешь. Соберусь. Сюда, наверное, да?
Mr. Benson, you wanted to see me?
Ah, yes, Jack. I'm just trying out a new putter. I noticed Elsa Lichtman in the lobby.
It's the weirdest thing, Mr. Benson.
Call me Curtis, Jack. This is California.
Like I said, Curtis, this is a very strange case.
How so, Jack?
That lady, Elsa Lichtman, is refusing a 20 grand payout.
Elsa Lichtman is hardly a lady, Jack. She's a jazz musician. Plays at the Blue Room in Hollywood. She has a fine pair of lungs, now that I think
She's
of
the
it.
beneficiary of this guy, Lou Buckwalter. He's killed in an industrial accident working for Elysian Fields Developments. You know Elysian?
I'm familiar with Leland Monroe. We move in similar circles.
Well, Miss Lichtman is making some pretty serious accusations. She says the case stinks and that
She's a very highly strung girl, Jack. Strung out might be a better way to put it.
It's a pretty generous payment, Curtis. I think I should look into it.
Is there anything wrong with the paperwork, Kelso?
No, there isn't, Mr. Benson.
I didn't think so. Pay the case out and get her off our backs.
I can't make her take the money,
Deal
sir.
with it, Jack. Do your fucking job.
Как поменялся
Do I
сразу.
have to do everything?
No, sir, you don't.
Fine, Jack. Fine. You know I have the greatest confidence in you.
Да-да. Сейчас мы расследуем немножечко. Посмотрим. К чему это нас приведет, да, так скажем. Что надо к этим ехать? На стройку.
Never get into fights with ugly people. They have nothing to lose.
Your car, Mr. Kelso? Thanks, kid.
Я сам себя вожу. Вот это прикол, да, приколюха. Угу. Заходи, не хочу. А у меня ж пистолет-то нет, пойди. О. Заходи, смотри документы, ребят, быстрее, быстрее, давай смотрим. Так, что у нас тут? Цемент, 2 тонны. Так, 8 тонн песка, нихера себе. И пескогравий 16 тонн, нихера себе. Угу. Пропорции я хотел сказать, что вообще 16 гравия, да, 8 песка, всего лишь 20 цемента. Пропорции вообще пиздец. Если вдруг кто не понял. Так, тут что у нас? Пойдем читать. Дело безопасности строительства Лос-Анджелеса. Постановление сносит здание. Так. В соответствии с разделом 191 часть 1 подраздел А строительного кодекса Калифорнии, администрация города Лос-Анджелес постановляет немедленно прекратить строительство работы в жилом массиве на Норманди авеню в связи с несчастным случаем. Угу. 28 января 47 подписывая снос возведенных строений и вывоз материалов строительных площадок. Ага. 22 сентября уведомление. Угу. Так, там что у нас еще? Записывка какая-то. Служебная записка. Задержки не допустимы, да? Угу. Все правильно.
Leland Monroe, the man with the grin. Looks like he doesn't like to be disappointed.
Угу. Так, и чё? Так.
You just can't be walking around down here.
I'm Jack Kelso from California Fire and Life.
I don't care if you're from the Vatican. Buzz off.
I'm investigating the accidental death of a Lou Buckwalter and...
You deaf? Do I have to beat on you?
Looks like you do.
Да подожди. Ух ты, нифига себе. Неплохо ты.
Take another
Ну блин, а почему у меня захват не прошел?
I came to see the house where Lou Buckwalter died. You were just about to offer to show me the way.
It's out the gate and 3 houses down on the left. Don't know what you're looking for, smart guy. There's nothing there.
Then I'll poke around in the rubble.
Fine. As long as you're out of my sight.
Я могу еще уломить. Где он сказал? Я уже не понял, где он сказал. А, ну да. Ой-ой-ой. Ага.
The place falls down and then they bulldoze it. What gives here?
God, haven't seen it now.
Чё? Не использовать для строительства. Написано.
Let's try to piece this together.
Keystone Film.
Keystone Films. Who gets their lumber from a film studio?
Ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой-ой. А вот это я припоминаю, что что-то... Да, у него сейчас прихерачит. Это что? Это я попал ему, что ли? Разворота? Неплохо. А просто можно сесть? А, ну да, можно. Это я... Я тоже могу по такому, да, разговаривать. Прикольно.
Jack Kelso, California Fire and Life Investigator. I need an address on the Keystone Film Company.
The address is 658 North Wilton Place. Is there anything else?
No, thank you, ma'am.
Ну, погнали. То есть поставляли с какой-то этой, с разобранных площадок материал. Ну понятно, там по дешевке вообще. Типа строили.
Here? No, not here. At a housing development over on Normandy Avenue. So? I found some lumber over there, had the Keystone name printed on it.
We've been closed since 41. Never quite made the transition to talkies. The Suburban Redevelopment Fund are pulling the place down.
Know anything about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nix.
Mind if I take a look around?
I'm kind of hungry. If someone was to leave a couple of bucks here, I might wander down the street and get a cup of coffee.
Is there a key to the gate?
No. The only guys who go in or out are some delivery guys from Elysian Fields. They're working on a housing development over at Wilton and Santa Monica.
Неплохо.
I'll have to hop it.
Ну, перелезть так перелезть, что. Так. Опять это сосна. А, нет, это сосна, нет, это древесины. Угу. Угу. Везущих конструкций.
That's one way to keep your costs down. Too bad it won't support a roof. Gotta be something else around here. Wonder what's left in the buildings.
Пойдем посмотрим. А интересно, этому вообще получается. О. Угу. Угу. Они все сидят. Угу. Начальник полиции. Этот. Таймс. Угу. Окружной прокурор. Угу. Кто, интересно, это снимал вообще? Угу. 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 Вот.
I need to find a game well or a telephone.
Угу. Вообще не херово. В общем, Все понятно. Так, вот сторожки. Телефон будет. Это что такое? А это что, где-то? А, нет.
Operator, I'd be glad if you put me through to police dispatch.
Угу.
Putting you through now.
This is Jack Kelso, investigator for California Fire and Life. Can you put me through to Curtis Benson, please?
Just a moment, please, Mr. Kelso.
Jack, how can I help?
Do you know anything about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund, Mr. Benson?
I've heard of them, Jack. Building new homes for GIs.
With green lumber that was used on movie sets.
Jack, are you working the Buckwalter case?
Mr. Benson, are you part of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Ты что-то как тут дурак спрашиваешь?
Call Miss Lickman. Call her as soon as you hang up. Arrange to see her tonight and get her to agree to the settlement. Do it tonight, do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
End of story, Jack. I don't want to hear another word about Elsa Lickman or Lou Buckwalter.
Can you put me through to Michigan 221?
Putting the call through.
Hello?
Ms.
Hello.
Lickman, it's Jack Kelso.
It's me.
Yes, Mr. Kelso.
I've been looking into your case.
Yes, and what have you found?
Да, много чего удалось.
It doesn't look good. I need to see you.
Meet me at the Blue Room. I work there tonight. I take a break around 9. I'll be waiting at the stage door. We can talk then.
Ну, поговорим. Auf Wiedersehen.
Thanks for your help.
And don't suppose I'll make a plea, 'cause baby, you know I'm guilty.
Ясненько, Джека-то и схватят. Все ему расскажут. Думаю, уже все на этом закончим, потому что у нас останется с вами совсем уже немного для последней части. Сейчас просто завершим дело. Вот он стоит, ждет. А, он общается. Ну, подходи. Нет, не сейчас.
What were you doing with him?
I was doing what you asked.
I didn't ask you to meet him in an alleyway.
Why do you snarl at me? Your friend came to ask me to accept the insurance.
He's not my friend, Elsa.
I think he's a brave man.
В том-то и дело.
You've
Надо
involved me
рассказывать.
in something he has no idea of the risk.
Иди
Can
рассказывай.
you live with that, Cole?
Elsa, I need his help. He hates my guts.
Forget the past, Cole. He deserves a chance to say no. If he helps you, let it be on his terms.
I'll go see him in the morning.
Does the chicken come with fried tomato?
Не понял. Стройплощадка Elysium Films. Не понял. Почему? Еще что-то, да? Ну ладно, поехали. Так, знаете, что я вам скажу, ребят? Не зря нам показывают, мы там что-то забыли. Мы там что-то с вами забыли взять, походу. О. Что там за? Пустая, да? Ну и чё? Нет. Ну, она здесь внутри оказалась. Чё это? Не, что-то не то. Блин, мне что-то показалось, что мы должны были что-то еще найти, что ли? Да, нет, мы все нашли. Ладно, окей, подожди. Тогда сейчас, тогда они мне сейчас, по идее, должны убрать уже из списка моего, да? Правильно понимаю, надеюсь. Ну вы поняли, да, что как бы я типа не нашел все улики. Ага. И сейчас туда иду. Ну, погнали. Все, теперь я все нашел.
American Century Broadcasting.
А шо?
America is the lucky country and...
Что у нас тут? Что у нас тут происходит? Пистолетов, конечно, нет. Что? Что это такое? Что показал? Ну.
Nice wiring job, fellas. Keep them in the dark.
А так бывает. Ой.
You lose something, Mac?
I thought these private eye types were all wise guys with smart mouths.
Looks
like the snappy repartee has all dried up.
Get on with it.
What's your hurry, Mac? You got some place to go?
You ever do the cat and mouse routine without a gun in your hand?
Now that's more like it.
Не, подожди, я не должен умирать. Или должен? Значит должен.
You're a worn, tough guy. You should learn to take a hint. Get him downstairs and into the trunk.
Ой-ой-ой. Ай-яй-яй. Что-то его это подзабыл.
Sure, he turned up all right. He's wishing he didn't. He's in the trunk. He's going nowhere. The boys introduced themselves. What do you want done with him, Mr. Monroe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know a good place. We'll pick up a shovel and a pick on the way. It's up in the hills behind Griffith Park. We'll deal with that German bitch next.
Ну, повезло, конечно, так выбрался. А в какую машину-то сесть? В любую?
Sorry, pal. Desperate times.
Дворами? Какими нахер же дворами? Ого! Это неразрушаемый объект был? А, вот это приколдесно. Говорит, доберитесь дворами, блядь. Заебись. Это просто жесть какая-то нахер. Не, ну лучше по дороге ехать. Нет, это такое дерьмо, блядь. Доберитесь, говорит, дворами, блядь. Ёпта тут машин. А как вы? Опасно, опасно, это все опасно, ребята, опасно. Вот этот столбы поди. Ну не разрушаемый, ну блядь, ну это пиздец. Короче, я так понял, тут ничего не разрушаемо. А эти придурки идут. Надо же фонарь. Обычно я гоняюсь, тут за мной догонится, прикольдесно. Как в мафии первой, да. Да вообще не говорю. Это же подзабыл про такое, да. Так, что-то сейчас там еще поди приедут. По-любому. Или все-таки оторвался? Нет. Ну, нормально все. Сейчас с Коулом увидится. Ну, чтобы получше выглядеть. Да, втянули, конечно, Джека в это дело. Коул.
You're still carrying that Army 45, Cole.
И теперь точно все. Угу. Так. Еще один флешбэк.
Satchel charges on the cave entrance from above. Covering fire on weapons team. Look for snipers in the trees. You know the drill. No risks, no heroes, no prisoners.
You want some roast on this one, Sarge?
No, you guys have done enough. Head back to Webs. We are going to blow every cave we come across. Close them down and move on, people.
Damn. I was hoping to get me a samurai sword. Skipper says that Phelps has fallen behind again. He's got his fire teams checking every cave. He's lost another flamethrower. He wants you to get over there and hurry them along.
Oh, boom.
Weapons company.
Sir.
Sir.
We have a major cave complex in front of us, Hogaboom. I want flamethrowers and BAR teams to clean it out.
Begging your pardon, sir. But if it's a big complex, why don't we bring the Shermans in? They could pour it in there.
We can't wait for tanks to be brought up. I'm already behind.
Then blow the cave. No skin off our nose. Bury them.
We are going in there and clearing them out. We are doing it by the numbers, Sergeant. Get your team in place. We're moving out. Mount up! First fire team and flamethrowers! Head in!
Твою налево. В засаду попали.
Where's he going?
Where's who going?
The big cowboy. He's going in. Who gave that order?
You did.
Так, ну ладно, вот в общем осталось уже немного. Остается с вами, ребятушки. Последнее видео будет. В следующий раз, да, 1,5 часа. Да. Ну все, тогда, ребят, как обычно, давайте подписываемся на канал, да. Ставим лайки, оставляем комментарии, пожалуйста. Вам давайте спасибо за просмотр. Увидимся в последней части прохождения. Всем пока.